Alright guys, so I guess I'm going to talk a little bit more about how Uber is working out for me. Today is my fourth day and I've done a little bit over 40 rides. So I've got a couple of things that I think would be useful. Sorry about the camera, I'm having to use my computer today. But talk about some things that you would find to be useful. Alright, so one of the things that I found out is that when you click for a passenger, that number that I talked about in my last video, you actually don't need the first person to text you or call you. What'll happen is that you'll have a passenger and you'll click it, and then it'll take you to navigate towards the passenger. But in the top left hand corner, you'll see these little lines like a settings bar. And when you see that, you can click on it and it'll tell you your passenger and where to pick them up, and it'll give you the phone number to use to contact them. You just click on contact and that's how it'll work out. Alright, so that was my little bit of a tip for you. But here are some issues that I've found. So with the app, sometimes you'll take a ride and you'll notice that it will say estimated payout 00 or $0.00, or it'll say processing and it'll process for like 30 minutes to an hour and it'll still come up with nothing. I've had that happen almost every day. The first day wasn't too bad, but from the second until today it's gotten worse and worse. It's pretty aggravating because you don't know what's going on and it feels like Uber is trying to trick you out of money or hope that you'll forget about it or something like that. So it's a little bit aggravating. Another thing that I had happen to me yesterday was that I would have a ride, and not only was it a ride, but it was an Uber XL, so it actually paid a little bit more than Uber X, and I really wanted those rides because normally they're at least $11. Alright, so I had a ride and I had to drive 8 miles to get there, and it took me 15 minutes, which in my car is a decent amount of gas because I don't have that great of gas mileage in my car. But what happened was I called him after I arrived to where it was. I sat there for a minute or two and nobody came outside, so I called the passenger and I was like, hey man. And he said, yeah, who's this? I said, it's Uber. I was just curious on where exactly are you. I pulled off where the GPS told me to, but nobody seems to be here. Well, he said that the app told him that there were no drivers around or that nobody was coming. And so I said, okay. And he said, I better not get charged for this. I was like, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. I can probably just cancel the ride. So then we hung up and I canceled the ride. Then I contacted Uber and I told them what had happened. I said, yeah, I drove this far and this is what happened. And not to mention this place is 20-30 minutes from my house. It's pretty far from my house, so that means I have to use all that gas to get home. So I contacted him and I told him that the situation, and I told him how he canceled and all that stuff, and basically their only response was, should have waited 5 minutes to cancel. So because I didn't wait 5 minutes, they didn't really care and I didn't get anything out of it. So that ride was kind of just a little sightseeing ride for me that I didn't want to take. So as another tip, a big one, do not cancel until after 5 minutes, or you will not get the cancellation fee. And I think the cancellation fee is only like $3. I think it's $5, and then Uber gives you 3 of it, so it's kind of crappy anyway, but it's better than nothing. Let's see, what else do I have? Yep, so I had a lot of people cancel trips on me. Like today, I drove up to where the person said they would be, which luckily I was already there, so it was only like a quarter mile to get to them. But as soon as I pulled up, the rider canceled. That happens a lot. Nothing you can really do about that. It's just kind of frustrating. I found that today was really, really slow, so I'm coming home to make a video. I keep a notebook full of my times that I drive, how long the trip took, the distance, the money made, and all that good stuff. Basically all the stuff that Uber has on there, but I have it written down on paper. I have my odometer, I have when I got gas. Keep your gas receipts because my friend told me that it was going to come in handy later on when it comes to be tax time. I don't know about that yet, so we'll see. But basically he said put aside 30% of everything that you make for taxes. So basically for every $100 you make, put aside $30, and I've been doing that. Alright, like I said, I'm going to try to keep these videos short. If I have anything come up. Oh, actually, alright, so if you have a problem, you can use the in-app support to talk to Uber. I would highly suggest not doing that. I would highly suggest finding another way, like emailing them or something to try to figure it out. Problem is that I haven't found a good way to contact them at all. Everything that you have is either automated or they have a certain list of questions that you can answer from, and they'll give you just a random answer. So if you have a question, you click on it, and it'll just tell you, oh, well, maybe you should try this. And that normally doesn't work out for everyday people because we're not robots and every situation is different. So here's what happens when you submit a report. So right here you can see that it says new support message, and it's resolved. Or this one, yeah, it's resolved. Problem is I have a ton of these now because for some reason they like to duplicate and they cram up your screen and they never go away. Ever. Very, very aggravating. So don't do it through the app. Find it and do it through the browser on your computer or something. Just do not do it in the app. No matter how important it is, it can wait. Trust me, because you do not want to deal with that. It's very aggravating because at the very bottom of all of that, so you've got that you're online and you've got here, and then you want to see if you're just driving how much your last trip was, so then you just go right here. But now I don't get to do that. I have to go way down here every single time, and then I finally see what my last trip was. So it's pretty aggravating. Alright, another thing that I've heard a lot of people on YouTube say is don't chase the surge, and I thought they were kind of about that. I was like, well, if it's close enough, I might as well chase it. Turns out I had one pretty close last night, and I was getting a sandwich to eat, and by the time I finished getting my sandwich, it was already gone. So definitely don't chase the surge. They're not kidding when they say that, and neither am I. But it looks like this video is starting to get a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it here. If I have anything else that comes up or anything that comes to mind, I'll let you guys know in the next video. Yeah, so see you guys.